Bart the Genius was first broadcasted on January 14th, 1990. It's the second episode of The Simpsons, but it was marketed as the first episode of the show after The Simpsons Christmas special came out 4 weeks prior on December 17th, 1989. This was the premiere episode of the show, which was sandwiched in between two of Fox's biggest hits at the time, America's Most Wanted and Married with Children. This was back when Fox had a full 4-hour slate on Sunday nights. Nowadays it's Sundays from 7 to 10. Around this time it was 7 to 11 because the Tracy Ullman show was on at 10 o'clock at night, as well as It's Gary Shandling show, and Booker was the 21 Jump Street spinoff, actually moved into that slot in the spring. And like I said, The Simpsons was sandwiched in between America's Most Wanted and Married with Children, so it had a good place to really find its audience, and it actually, that season led the way for it landing in the top 30 highest rated TV shows, tied with Night Court and Doogie Howser MD, which was pretty impressive for Fox, a network that was really only 4 years old at that point. So this episode in particular was written by Jon Vitti, who would later go on to write several episodes of the show, as well as for King of the Hill, The Critic, The Office, one of the 11 writers on The Simpsons movie, did a lot of stuff for Blue Sky Studios, wrote some of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, as well as the Angry Birds movies. He would also write a couple more episodes in Season 1 that we'll get to later on here, but this was his first episode of the series, directed once again by David Silverman. And in this episode, Bart has trouble on an intelligence test, and sneakily switches tests with Martin Prince, the class genius, voiced by Russi Taylor. After the results are tabulated, the school psychiatrist... I'm having trouble speaking today. The school psychiatrist, Dr. J. Lorden Pryor, labels Bart a genius and sends him to the Enriched Learning Center for Gifted Children. Homer starts treating Bart with respect, but Bart immediately feels out of place among his new classmates and is alienated from his old peers. He confesses that he cheated on the test and is subsequently sent back to Springfield Elementary School, but not before Homer wants to choke the ever-loving bejesus out of him at the end. Seriously, watch the episode and you'll see what I'm talking about. There are several noteworthy things about this particular episode, such as this being the first time that Bart has used the catchphrase, "Eat my shorts," and that it's the first episode that features Mrs. Krabappel and Martin Prince. And overall, the animation, much like a lot in the first season, is pretty standard and mediocre, and trust me, we'll get to some Enchanted Evening, which is the one that has the worst animation probably of the entire series, and maybe why they saved that for the very end of the season. But like I said, of course, this is series progressive. The animation does get better, and this is a good episode, mostly because of the writing. The overall premise of the episode is nicely executed. The comedy is very good. The jokes and the satirical moments are nicely done. And it is an overall very good episode. Definitely not one of the show's stronger episodes, but it definitely shows signs of something great being made in the process. It'll just take a few more episodes for the series to grow into its own. And like I said, it's a really solid episode. A very entertaining one. A lot of good funny moments. A lot of great memorable moments to it. Really good episode. Bart the Genius. What more can I say?